My name is Daniel, and the moment my best friend realized I had lied to him, I knew our friendship was over. I still remember the look on his face, not anger at first, just shock, like he couldn't understand how I could do something like that to him. And the worst part is, by the time he found out, I had already been lying for weeks. Before all of this, my life looked normal. I had a small sales job, a rented apartment, and the same routine every day. But behind that normal life, I was drowning in debt. Credit card felt like I was trying to stay afloat while slowly sinking. Most people didn't know how bad it was. I kept smiling, going to work, acting like everything was fine. But inside, I was constantly stressed, thinking about money and how to fix everything. My best friend Sam had no idea. We had known each other for years, real friendship, the kind where you trust each other without thinking twice, and that trust is exactly what I ended up using. The fake business idea started as a thought. At work, I used to hear people talking about small online businesses, importing electronics accessories, selling them online, making decent profit. One day, I started talking about it too. At first, it was just casual conversation. I told people I had been researching suppliers and that I might start something small. The more I talked about it, the more believable it sounded. Eventually, I mentioned it to Sam. We were sitting in a cafe when I explained the idea. I told him I wanted to import phone chargers and small accessories, sell them online, and grow slowly. I said I just needed a small investment to get the first batch of products. Sam asked a few questions, and somehow I had answers ready for everything. Looking back, that's the part that bothers me the most. I wasn't confused or unsure. I had already decided to lie. After a few days, Sam told me he trusted me and wanted to help. A week later, he transferred the money. When I saw the money in my account, I felt relief for the first time in months. But I also knew something had changed. That money was supposed to start a business. Instead, the first thing I did was pay one overdue bill, then another, then part of my loan. I kept thinking I would fix everything before Sam noticed, but the truth is, the money disappeared much faster than I expected, and the lies had already started. For the next few weeks, I kept sending Sam small updates about the business. I told him about supplier delays and shipping issues. None of it was real. Deep down, I already knew this wasn't going to end well. At first, Sam didn't seem worried. Whenever he asked about the business, I had another excuse ready. I said the supplier shipment was delayed. Then I said I was waiting for product samples. The lies became easier every time I told them. But the truth was simple. The money was gone. Not on anything impressive either, just debts, bills, and rent. But life doesn't work that fast. One evening, Sam asked if we could meet to talk about the business. He said he was excited and wanted to plan the next steps. We met at the same cafe where I first told him the idea. Sam looked hopeful. He even brought a notebook with marketing ideas. Then he started asking questions, simple ones at first, about suppliers, invoices, product samples. I tried to keep the story going, but it was much harder in person. Eventually, he asked a question I couldn't answer. "Did you actually order anything?" I stayed silent. After a few seconds, I admitted the truth. I told him about the debts, the bills, and how I thought I could replace the money later. He didn't yell. He just looked at me like he didn't recognize me anymore. That moment hurt more than any argument could have. He stood up and left. A few days later, the police contacted me. Sam had reported everything, and honestly, I couldn't blame him. What I had done wasn't a misunderstanding. It was fraud. The investigation was simple. Bank records, messages, the transfer, everything was clear. A few months later, I stood in court, listening to the judge explain the consequences of what I had done. The sentence wasn't long, but it was enough to stop my life completely.
Prison gives you a lot of time to think, and I often think about the moment Sam said he trusted me. If I had just told him the truth about my situation, maybe things would have been embarrassing for a while, but embarrassment fades. Betrayal doesn't. I lost my freedom for a time, but the bigger loss was realizing that one selfish decision destroyed the friendship that mattered most in my life.